Hi everybody, it is v8burble's back for the weekly review show. It is a Thursday, so it shows that I've been lazy again this week getting this video out, or more importantly, I've just about thawed myself out given the cold snap we've got and feel capable of delivering this. This is of course reviewing the events that took part on simulatorgolftour.com using GSPRO version 2 software. And for those that don't know, if anyone's new to this video, you can get your Garmin, your Flight Scope, your Unicore, your GC2, your SkyTrack devices hooked up to GSPRO and take part in these tour events. If you like putting, take part in the Pro, PGA Web, Par 3 events. If you don't like putting, take part in the Auto Putt Tour. There's something for most people. Get your kids involved. I've got little Burble, a 12-year-old, now playing the Par 3 events, and if I can motivate him, hopefully getting him doing the web ones as well, as he's beginning to kind of get into golf. And it's, good to see. I'll try and look out for him on the leaderboard. A few little shout outs. Thank you, Joe, for getting in touch. I'll give him a shout out, Joe Legowski, on the he's one of my customers who's bought an impact screen and then is taking it back to Australia with him in luggage, I think. So that's pretty cool. And of course, Ralph, for all the shout outs. Ralph's been taking part in the Pro Tour, which is great to see, and he's been scoring very well. I don't think he finished this week, so I can't see him on the leaderboard, but we'll get on to that. Paul G, thanks for the comments on the previous video. He's part of my clan, and I had a bit of a discussion or argument with him about what handicap people should be starting on new tours. Thin Man, he commented on the last video, bar humbug, the Grinch. He says he's not coming back on tour until there's more stats, and I think it's all the proximity stats he wants to see for each club so he can work on bits of his game. Hopefully more stats will arrive on the tour stats with time, but hopefully he'll have a change of mind and start teeing up on some of these competitions, because I like to see Thin Man around the tour. And Dan Rickett, another guy that got in touch with me. Thank you, Dan. Dan's somebody who has decided he's going to be playing PGA, even though he can only tee it up with, I think, a 4-iron because of limited space where he is, and it means he's kind of being pushed up to the PGA Tour, because obviously the intention is that people aren't playing down a tour just because they're limited on clubs. So it's a good approach, and I think I like the fact he just said, I'm just going to play PGA. So thanks, Dan, for getting in touch. Without further ado, let's get on with it. So we're going to start with the dashboard, because Shahid's at the top. I'm just going to say welcome, Shahid. Good to see you teeing it up a bit more. Shahid's a legend of Ryder Cup golf, because I've paired myself with him in Alt Shot, I think, 4 or 5 times, and we are unbeaten against the US pairings, even taming the mighty Thunder Golf and CW in one of the events. Probably some nasty setup that I got to choose as captain. But anyhow, it's good to see Shahid there. But we'll start with the Pro Tour. The Pro Tour was at, actually all the tours were at Miramichi Golf and Country Club. And the winner this week, by a fair margin, a couple of shots, was Willie 8 again. He's won plenty out there on Pro Tour, so really good scoring there. Just beating out M. Loga, and tied for third, Marc-Andre Keymart and the legend Bob Chung. I always like to see Bob Chung in third place, world ranking third. Everywhere it should be third. It's the magic number. Working my way down the leaderboard. A quick shout out for someone else who got in touch on the last video, which is Scottish Pedro. He actually asked me how can he get a Scottish flag, so I've got one, and as we go on further, someone else has, so it's a possibility. I'm not exactly sure. Check your settings, go into your profile and check your settings. It's definitely there. If not, I'm sure you can contact Cook and he'll change it. But yes, I'm not Scottish number 1 this week, with Scottish Pedro taking 19th place. I was down in 38th, and I'm not even Phil number 1. Back to Phil and Scottish number 2. So down there in 38th. I didn't do brilliantly this time round. Working my way further down the leaderboard. Who's at the bottom of the leaderboard? We have McKelligan in 102nd. So good to see more than 100 people finishing on Pro. Obviously more teed it up. And yeah, that's very good to see. I'll give a shout out to Hammonegger, because he tagged me in Discord, I think it was yesterday, pointing something out, which I will mention when we're on the appropriate tour. Let's look at the net leaderboard. The net leaderboard this week, the winner is It's Brad Robb, 23, taking it by just one shot from Scottish number one this week, Scottish Pedro. So well done, Brad Robb. Down there in third, Bradford and Jay Goblek and John Hipp, 31, finishing out the top five. So well done, Scottish Pedro. As I look down to the bottom of the leaderboard, again, I was down there in 42nd, very average rounds. I should have actually got one shot back on the Pro Tour round one because I had to pause my round to allow Little Burble to play some golf. And when I turned my back, he picked up my wedge and smacked a shot which registered on the GC2. So I had a drive that went about 2 feet, which was a little bit annoying, but I didn't do well enough to bother messaging Cook about it. Wasn't that important. And at the bottom of the leaderboard, again, it's McElligan, a double whammy this week. I'll give a shout out to Looms instead. Did anyone used to play the LucasArts point and click adventure games like Secret of Monkey Island back in the day? There was one called Loom. When I saw that name, I thought, oh yeah, I remember Loom. Wasn't as good as Secret of Monkey Island, but was still good. Moving on, PGA this week. So for those that don't, I should say, if you play PGA, you should really play Pro, because you get more world ranking points, and the distance for Pro is very, very similar. So round one, Cook intends to have it at PGA distance for Pro, and then the second round is going to be that little bit longer. So you may as well play up on the Pro Tour as well, I would say. And someone who can hit it an absolute mile, I've already mentioned him in the old shot thing earlier, CW35, he's won a couple down here on the PGA, 19 under, so well clear, Super Swede in second. Tech, good to see Tech playing. He's taken obviously a little bit of time out from designing his courses to actually tee it up. So well played Tech for third, and finishing out the top five, D Ganim, 68, and just in time. So well done, guys. Scrolling slightly further down, a few Brits there, Mikey Durr, Cue Ball, Pepper, top Canadian name I can see there. Ginger Ninja, he's been in one of the Ryder Cups or President Cups that I've captained. So good to see, he's over in New Zealand, I believe. Fieldy Golf, I was going to show your shot that was posted in Discord, but I've had some issues with sharing my desktop on Mac, so I can't. But Tech Bud designed a hole which is hitting over Niagara Falls. I think it's a 360-yard drive from a massive elevated platform. And he posted a video on Discord of landing it on the green, it hopping twice and just hopping up and hitting the flag so close to a hole-in-one. So it was a great shot. Sorry I can't show it on this. And looking further down, if we go to the bottom of the leaderboard, how many people teed it up? We had 164, and it's SK15M at the bottom. I'll give a shout out to Brentria, because I think I mentioned SK a number of times. I will also shout out to Ralph, who was playing Web Tour for ages and has been playing Pro Tour. I looked for him on here on the leaderboard, RC Perkins, I believe it is, RC Perkins Jr., and he's not there. He I know he shot 4 under, I think it was, net round one. So I'm guessing he ran out of time to finish round two. But yeah, well done, Ralph. And I will do that video talking about your tutorials shortly. Carrying on, looking at the net leaderboard for PGA. Wow, this is the most professional video I put out this week, which doesn't say a lot, does it? And the net winner this week for Pro Tour, for PGA Tour, was Basement Golfer. 8 under, well done. Just taking it by one shot from CW and B Patrick. Familiar names up there. Cue Ball in fourth. I'm finishing out the top 5 just in time. Bun Chris, Liv Zen, and Don Cap. So well done, guys, for getting all of those rounds in. As we scroll down, we will see at the bottom we have Brentria and SK15, and let's shout out I Ask 1004 as well. So well done, guys. 164 people finishing PGA this week is good. Looking on the Web Tour this week, the gross winner for Web is Scott Mizo, just pushing out another Scott. So a couple of seconds for Scots and not me, D1888. So well done, Scott Mizo. Stagamar in third, always up there. Soupy, another familiar name. Luz63 and Drakung. Soupy is still number 1 by a mile, I think, on Discord when people do that exclamation mark rank thing. So yeah, lives on Discord. Or he's got a team of people that are answering for him while he's sleeping. As we scroll down, we'll have a look down to the bottom. Oh, there's Shahid. He did play and finish this week. Good to see. Keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. And we have got Brentria at the bottom. And Sublime. Now, Sublime, it was posted that Sublime broke 100, I think, for the first time outdoors this week. So congratulations, Sublime. I've called you out on a number of these videos. So very, very well done. That's some good golf. When I first started, I think I was shooting about 110 outdoors most of the time. And indoors, probably something similar when I started on TGC about 8.5, 9 years ago. So, yeah, good progress there. Well done. What else do I need to shout out? Was that the net one? Nope, still got to do the net one. And the net winner this week is... It's simply me. 4 shots clear of Lust 63, then D1888. Joe Lee and Scott Mizo finishing out the top 5. At the bottom of the net leaderboard for Webb, we have got Brentria. I don't know what name just caught my eye there. Fat Joe or something. I swear. Sometimes a name, Lord Greyhair, just jumps out. Some of these names like jump out at me when I'm scrolling down. Anyhow, well done, guys. So if we move on to the Auto Putt Tour, what's happening on Auto Putt Tour for people that either don't want to putt or don't like to putt, or those that just enjoy playing the Auto Putt? I don't know how they score so well, because I find that I hit a really good shot on a par 5. It rolls up onto the edge of the green, and obviously you get a 3-putt from there. And I'm like, excuse me, I get annoyed by that, but these guys score crazy good. So we've got Willie Long in first place. Does that mean that if that's Willie Long, why do I find this so amusing? It's the child in me. Does that make this... does that make this guy Willie Short? I don't know. Anyhow, why does that amuse me? Second place, Bob Chung really should be third place, as I mentioned earlier. And finishing out the top 5, the Mooks and Brett in third, and Brad, Rob and Mark Andre, I say finishing out the top 5, tied 5th. But well done, Willie Long. Looking down the bottom, how many people finished the Auto Putt Tour? We've got Sublime down there. There we go. Getting those rounds in. So I've already given him a shout out. So let's give a shout out to Kevin Williams there in 143rd. Let's look at the net leaderboard for this week on the Auto Putt Tour. And net, we've got... Oh, he took both. Wow, by a big margin there as well. Willie Long, that handicap's going to change. Ian Winchester, another new name for me there, second. Brad Robb, T-Bone and Simman finishing out the top 5. Well done, guys. I will have a quick look for a J-Lag. This is Joe in Australia, who's bought one of my impact screens and is putting it in his luggage to take back home. So 34, he did say it wasn't a good round for him, so it's probably a bad week for me to... have a look at his scores, but oh well, it happens. And Kevin Williams at the bottom there. So let's move on to the par 3 tour. So Willie Short, I can't call him Willie Short, it's Willie 8. So we've got Willie winning the par 3 again. So he's winning pro, he's winning par 3, so he hits it obviously a long way and hits it a close way as well. Second D show, third T-Mac, Keymark 4th and tied 5th, the Mooks and M. Loga. So well done, guys. Let me see if lazy little Burble did actually finish his rounds. He didn't. He only finished round 1. I've got to make sure he finishes both so he gets on the leaderboard. And at the bottom, we've got, in 130th, we've got Sasha from Germany, I believe. Belgium's the other one, isn't it? Yeah, Germany. Thank you. That makes it easy if somebody puts Germany in his name. I should know the German flag, and I do. Sublime there, and Hannah. Let's give Hannah 82 a call out there. So well done, guys, playing the par 3 event. I'm terrible at the par 3 one. Where was I on the leaderboard? Way down, I think. 50th. Yeah, really can't do well at it. Looking at the net leaderboard. Go on, making a meal of this update. And the net leaderboard... We have got a winner this week, the par 3 tour of T-Mac 2881, just ahead of Hammonegger. I think it's Hammonegger that asked me to give the shout out for Sublime, so thank you for tagging me there. If anyone sends me messages, unless I forget, I will attempt to give you a shout out. UK Pops tied second with Hammonegger, and Fourth, Una Vicas and Lafferty Jr. Down the bottom of the net leaderboard, we've got Sasha again. Hannah, I gave a shout out to. McKelligan, I've given a shout out to. So let's get up to Rainmaker JL. Moving on. What's next? What we got left? The two-man scramble. I might have to advertise for a new partner because unfortunately, my man John Mayer is just too busy and unwanting to play golf at the moment. So how many people played? 71 pairings finished. So I might need to find myself a new partner for the two-man. But in the meantime, familiar names up there. Salty and Carnival took the win. Now, I was playing my clan match with, was it Gojo? Or yeah, it was Gojo, I think it was. And he was saying that it's funny, I pronounce all the names differently to how he does when he sees them on this call. And he said that was corn level. So it might be corn level. I'm going to go with Carnival. But it could be corn level. Anyhow, second, Willie 8, Carson Ritz. Third, Bob Chung D Show. And finish out the top five, Johnny Hammersticks Businessman and M Logan Random Hero. So well done, guys. Looking at the net leaderboard. And the winners of the two-man this week, net, are. You're always a winner. Once you're a winner, you're always a winner. So yes. It's tied, so it's Well Shots, JQ 777, B Ferguson, Simply Me 80. I always like to think if it's net that the people playing off of the harder handicap should get it and the other way around. So I'll give the biggest shout out to Well Shots and JQ, but I don't know officially who won it. Newts and Dino third, and finishing out the top five, Salty Carnival, Mad Mike Pants Party, good name, T-Line, Bogey Preston, Willie 8, Carson Ritz, and Super Swede and Bomber Hilda. So well done, guys. So yeah, hopefully John, or maybe John can just play the two-man scramble with me. I'll message him after this to find out. Otherwise, I will be advertising for somebody to play with. That sounds wrong. Somebody to play the scramble with each week. Four-man event. So this is the monthly event. Only 4 have got their rounds in so far. And a good four-man scramble score set by Pontus, Super Swede, Van Dorn and Bomber Hilda. That's the one to beat for those that are going to be teeing it up in the rest of the month. Hopefully, myself, Tommy, and Mitch can convince John to get his round, and if not, we'll try and find a fourth for that. The tour tips tour. Now, this event finished last week. C. Stevenson finished the 2 rounds. Oh, and it's still going. It appears to be still going. But basically, this is the test event where they're setting up tournaments playing from the tips. From the look of it, they're also setting up really tough wind, high stimp on the greens. You know, it's a tough setup. And it is good to see scores a little bit lower. Now, I've seen quite a lot of comments about it. A couple of days ago, it was all kicking off on Discord. And I probably agree with Bob Chung. I like to see these really good golfers in a sim scrambling for par. So I'm a big fan of making the setup tough. Now, I do also agree with Salty that the wind should be the same for everybody. It shouldn't kind of be random. So if I turn my event on and I've got a headwind on all the par 5s of 20 miles an hour and the other guys have got a 20 mile an hour tailwind, that isn't really fair. So I do think we need to have a setting where the wind is consistent for the players. But I like to see people scrambling around to try and get par. This, I believe, is going to be a tour that will be available to sign up for next week. And hopefully we'll get more and more people playing it. I don't think world ranking points are going to be available as it's likely to be one round only. And at the moment, it's just deemed that I don't think world ranking points are going to be earned. It's just going to be kind of a bit of a fun setup for those that do hit it hard, hit it longer, or just like the challenge. Did I tee it up? No, I'll have to do that one. Net leader, why not? Let's have a look at net leader. C. Stevenson's leading that one at this moment in time. And the net leader is also C. Stevenson. So it's, handicaps are zeros. no one's earned a handicap, so ignore what I said there. Moving on, we've got the Clans event, of course, going, and this is getting, I don't know when the season finishes. Is it getting closer to the end of the season? But we will zoom in and we'll look at who got the wins this week. We have, if I drag that out a bit so I can fit it all in, we have got a win for Down Under Par beating Sloppy Seconds there, thanks to Owen and T-Boz's point. We've got a convincing win for Players Club beating Pre-Game Heroes this last week. We have got a narrow win for Island of Mishits, damn, they're in our group, beating Growing the Game. We have got a 2-point win for Team Canada over Monkeypox. We had a tie between Camel Toad Crusaders and Gunga Lunga. We had a 2-1 win for Grip It and Sip It versus No Name All Game. We had a narrow win for 3-putt pars against the Four Horsemen, and the less said about this, the better. The Kingsmen got absolutely battered by Hookers and Blow this week. So looking at the standings, in GSPRO North, we have got Players Club just ahead by a tie from No Name All Games, so all to play for there. GSPRO South, ahead by a couple of wins versus 2 ties. We've got Grip It and Sip It ahead of Gunga Galunga. In SGT North, we have got, again, head just by a tie. We've got Hookers and Blow ahead of 3-putt pars. And in our own group, it is close. We've got Island of Mishits that beat us and have opened up a bit of a margin from us. And we are only a tie ahead of Team Canada, who we are playing this week. So all to play for. And I've got an open tab there, which doesn't say a lot. So, World Rankings. World Rankings. It's the one thing I didn't click on. So, let's have a look at the World Rankings for this week. I think it was Willie, and it still is Willie. Top, clear of Keymart, The Mooks, C. Stevenson, and J. Prio looks to have just moved Bob Chung out of the top 5. I've dropped out of the world top 20. I'm gone. It's a slippery slope, and I'm gathering speed in the wrong direction. So, yes, less said about that, the better. Get those rounds in. I'm just going to give a shout out for 100th. Who's 100th? It is Ray's. There we go. Random number. Thank you if you've watched this. More comments, the better, please. I'll keep doing it if people keep watching it. If nobody watches it, I'll stop doing it. Hopefully people like it. And no offence to anybody that I may have offended. See you next week. Bye.